What is up? We are in another live on YouTube. We are also live on my personal Facebook page, and I'm creating this guide for the Motivation to Quit Alcohol group. It's going to be in the guide section there. Something called the Sober Toolbox, where we're going to give you guides how to beat your alcohol habit with willpower, how to socialize sober, all sorts of great things are going to be happening in the Motivation to Quit Alcohol group. So if you're not part of that group, follow us on Facebook. You can just search it up and join. And there's 34,000 members plus in that group trying to live an alcohol-free lifestyle, and we support each other, and we're there to help you reset, rewire, and reclaim your life the best we can. So anyways, I'm Aaron, the Sober Life Coach. If you don't know me, I'm a coach, author, and I've been sober for the past 7 years. I did it without alcohol or without AA or rehab, and I did it without hitting rock bottom, because I don't think you need those things as well unless you're physically dependent or you want those things, but you can do it without it. I was able to take personal development and mix it into my alcohol-free lifestyle, and I never look back. And we're going to learn some of the habits and some of the things I learned in personal development over the years, reading books and just implementing these things in my life. And hopefully I can help you guys get to where you want to go. So let's jump into this, because this is super exciting. I'm so excited about this willpower series that we're going to be doing, because willpower is one of the things that people think they need, and you don't need it. It's actually going to hurt you if you just rely on willpower. So this guy right here is a picture of me in 2018. On the outside, I looked happy, but inside, my life was falling apart. You know, I was drinking daily. I was pretty close to becoming physically dependent on alcohol. But on the outside, I was doing okay. I was going to Toastmasters, win public speaking contests. I was trying to create a public speaking business at the time. And all those things look great on the outside, but alcohol was slowly taking my energy, and it was slowly draining my battery, and it was slowly draining things out of my life. And maybe that's you. Maybe your life looks good on the outside. Maybe your life looks like if somebody looked in and said, wow, this person's got it all together. You're high functioning, you got things going on, but on the inside, maybe alcohol is draining you. Maybe alcohol is one of those things that just kind of silently takes your power away. And the advice a lot of people are give, well, just use willpower, white knuckle through it. That kind of advice, it really, really hurts people, because that's not really how it's going to work. And that's not how it worked for me. When I was actually able to make a change, willpower wasn't the answer. It was what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about why willpower alone fails after 5 p.m., the real science behind craving control. So what is willpower really, right? Well, willpower is kind of like a phone battery. Eventually it hits zero. So it drains throughout the day. Your willpower could be high in the morning. You could be motivated. You could say, I'm not going to drink it. By the end of the day, all the stress, all the kids, everything that happens to you, your willpower is going to drain to zero. So you have limited mental energy, right? You have a limited, it's a finite resource. It's not something that's always going to be there, always on, right? And it's drained by stress, work, decision fatigue is a thing. All these things that you have coming at you. And if you're a high performer like me, you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're, do something that demands a lot of stress and decision making and all these things, then maybe your willpower drains a little bit faster than normal people, right? So that's not going to work for you. If willpower is draining, willpower is not the answer, right? So like I said, it's kind of like a phone battery, and eventually it's going to hit zero. So we want to have something better for a plan. So white knuckling looks like this, right? You're not broken. You're just out of fuel, right? That's, like I said, it's a battery. So if you got a car and there's no gas in it, well, then guess what? You're going to go get some gas, and that gas could be alcohol. That's the solution to your problem. You think that alcohol is the solution to your problem. So you're putting in alcohol as gasoline into the car, and it's not going to go very far. It's going to drain really quickly. You're going to feel numb. And then you're going to feel stressed out and anxious, and all these things that comes with it. So your white knuckling kind of looks like this. Your morning, I'm not drinking tonight, right? And then by 5 p.m., just one won't hurt. And then by 9 p.m., why did I do that again? I know I was stuck in that cycle for so long. 18 years I was stuck in that cycle, right? You have a really bad hangover, and then you're like, oh, I'm never going to drink again. And by 5 p.m., you're like, oh, well, I could just have one, because you feel a little better. Your nauseousness went away. Maybe the anxiety sort of went away, or maybe it's the anxiety is increasing, so you need that alcohol. And then by 9 p.m., you're like, why did I do that again? I'm drunk now, and tomorrow I'm going to feel like crap. So that's what white knuckling looks like. And if you try to white knuckle through it, maybe you'll get a few days, maybe you'll get a week, maybe you can even get up to a month, a year. Some people white knuckle it for a very long time, but it's not the answer. That I found that really, really helped me was the next thing we're going to talk about was this identity level change, right? So the real problem isn't willpower, it's your identity. Your old identity says, I'm a drinker trying not to drink, right? So the old identity is, I'm a drinker trying not to drink. So if you think you're still a drinker, you're going to look out into the world and say, oh, why can't I drink? I'm missing out. I want it, but I can't have it. That kind of gap thinking is really what pulls a lot of people back, because you see yourself as a drinker. You see yourself as alcohol as the solution to your problem. Now you're just taking the solution away and not filling it up with something else, right? But if you have a new identity, you can say, I'm a leader who doesn't drink. I'm someone who doesn't doesn't drink. I've talked about this before, but I did the same thing with smoking, right? I smoked for a very long time. I started smoking at 11 or 12 or something, and I smoked till I was 26 or 27 years old. And I tried to quit. I would say, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to do this. This is my health and all this stuff. But nothing really seemed to work until I realized that I needed to actually replace the habit of smoking with something else. So I would, the social settings were a big thing for me. So I would deliberately take my nicotine inhaler that I had at the time, and I would go out into the smoking area because I really craved that and I missed that. I realized that social connection was one of the reasons I was smoking in the first place, just to be with people, just to be around people, on lunch break or whatever, right? And that really helped me, just knowing that I could be in these social situations without smoking. And the people would ask me, do you want to smoke? And I said, no, I don't smoke. Instead of I'm quitting, no, I don't smoke. And that was really a game changer for me. And that was same with alcohol. I was able to put myself in situations where there's alcohol and say, I don't drink. And the more I did that, the more my identity was fueled, and the more I became a non-drinker, right? So it's really about identity change, because your new identity says, I'm a leader who doesn't drink anymore. So that's really where I want to take you guys from this sad guy right here to this happy alcohol-free person. So the identity loop that changes everything looks like this: identity, action, results. Most people think that they go for the results, right? And then they take the action, and then your identity will follow. Well, that's the wrong way to do it. It's not, it's be, do, have, not have, be, do, right? So if you get anything out of this, it's be, do, have, not have, be, do. And that's how you really create a change. So most people chase action first. You need to start with identity. You need to start with this: who am I? What kind of sober person am I? Changing your identity, changing, limiting the beliefs around alcohol, changing the things we learn about in the Dare to Be Sober challenge, or the Kickstart coach, or the things that I'm doing with my clients, right? That's why we need to change the identity level. So that's the identity kind of a loop, right? It's identity results, action, or identity, action, results, right? So, why willpower fails? Here's some science-backed facts. If you guys got kind of a science-minded person, right? Willpower is finite. Your ego depletion shows self-control drains like a battery. By evening, decision fatigue wipes out willpower. Your decision fatigue. If you make a lot of decisions, if you're a career-driven parent, if you're a high performer, you're making tons of decisions every single day, and then at the end of the day, the last decision that you get to make is not to drink. That's crazy, because now you're not gonna. If you don't have a plan in place, now you're just gonna be like, well, I need to drink because I have no willpower left. I haven't. My battery is drained, right? So willpower is finite. Stress hijacks your self-control. Stress activates the amygdala, reducing prefrontal cortex function, the brain's self-control center. So it activates that amygdala. It reduces your prefrontal cortex function, and that's the brain self-control function, right? So no wonder you don't think you have any control, because that's how stress works. That's how stress is getting into your life. So and 40 to 45% of daily behavior is habitual, not conscious. Isn't that crazy? About half of your behavior is habitual, not conscious, right? And habits run faster and stronger than willpower. That's what I've been talking about. Your habits, the things you put in your life, the things that you have autopilot, or the things that you actually intentionally put in your life, those habits, those are what is going to change your alcohol-free lifestyle. So your habits do outpace your willpower. So we're going to learn a lot about habits if you stick with me. So from white-knuckling to automatic, right? So we build identity-based habits, right? So we're going to build some identity-based habits. We're going to create systems. We're going to reset the triggers using a D.A.R.E. So what are some things we can use to do right now instead of running on autopilot? So stop the autopilot, create a better plan, and reset triggers using the D.A.R.E. method. We're going to learn about the D.A.R.E. method right now. So your method reflection sober playbook. Sometimes people have this 5 p.m. Thing where they come home, their willpower's been drained, and they're asking yourself, what do I do? I need to have a drink, right? So this is kind of your 5 p.m. sober playbook, and we're going to use the D.A.R.E. Method to do it. So D.A.R.E. is disrupt, ask, reframe, and then execute. So let's disrupt the thought. What's my autopilot habit I need to break today? What's the one autopilot thing that I need to break today? Is it getting off work, having a drink? Is it getting off work and immediately sitting on the couch watching Netflix and having a drink? What is that autopilot thing that's happening and making you drink? Let's really kind of be aware of that and just take a moment to think about that, because once we bring awareness to that, then we're able to look at it and change it over time, right? So, and ask yourself this: what's really triggering me? Stress, boredom, habit, identity? What's actually triggering you to the drinks? We talk about triggers in some of my trainings, right? But triggers can be emotional, physical, environmental, social. So all these things could be triggered you. So let's really kind of figure out what's triggering you Is it stress, boredom, habit, identity? What is that actual trigger? And then we're going to reframe that. How can I see it as a chance to lead myself, not reward myself with alcohol? How can you turn that around? How can you see this as a chance to grow instead of reward yourself with alcohol? What's something you can say to yourself? Well, a really good reframe is if alcohol is used to relieve my stress, does it actually relieve my stress? No, it actually makes me more stressed out. If it's leading me to anxiety, well, no, or it's taking away my anxiety. Actually, no, for me, it wasn't. It was actually making me more anxious. So those kind of the reframes that we're looking at. And what is the exact action I will take today instead of drinking? What's one exact action you can take today instead of drinking? And how can I set this up before the cravings hit, before 5 p.m. hits, before my stress is there? Are you going to take the alcohol out of your house if it's safe to do so? Are you going to maybe connect with your kids instead of going to the beer? What is your plan, and what do you need to do to execute that plan before the cravings hits? Because once you have a plan in place, it's a lot easier to execute then than in the moment. So if you have a plan in place in the moment, you're going to stop that autopilot. You're not going to run it. You're not going to react. You're going to respond to it. But if you don't have that in place, you're just going to react. You have no plan, and then you're going to continue to do the same autopilot kind of thing. So that's what I have for you guys today. This is a 6-part series, so we're going to be talking more about willpower throughout this whole guide, the series. So if you're sticking with me, we'll be talking a lot about willpower and how to beat it with identity-based habits. So if you really want to jump into this, you want to reclaim your life from alcohol, I do have something that's free. It's called the Kickstart Coach. It's totally free. We're going to get 7 videos, 7 audios, 7 short audios and videos to shift your mindset every single day, kind of like these. You're going to get access to the Sober Copilot powered by AI. So it's 24/7 support with something called the Kickstart Coach GPT. So it's it's the books and my coaching, and it's all put into ChatGPT form. If you don't have ChatGPT, there's other options we can use, but it's put into that, and you can kind of talk to it like me. It's kind of like having my coaching in your pocket for free. So that's really awesome. And we're going to be updating that as AI gets better, as GPT-5 comes out. So it's going to really be more immersive and stuff. So hopefully we can get you guys in there and try it out and give me feedback, so we can always making that better. And you get workbooks, quick workbooks to help you win the day. You also get a free PDF copy of my book, Kickstart Your Comeback, that's going to kind of guide you through the 7-day system that I got going on there. So that is what I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for letting me be your coach. Life is better on the sober side, my friends. And just remember, if you don't have a plan, you're just going to start you're starting to start reacting to life. But if you do have a plan, you're able to respond, you're able to put systems in place, you can beat this. And willpower is not the answer. It's your systems and your habits and your identity and all these things we're talking about. That's really going to make the difference. So anyways, guys, have yourselves a beautiful day. I will see you guys hopefully in the Kickstart Coach and other programs I got, or I'll just see you on Facebook or in more of these lives. So life's better on the sober side, my friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video.